In the late 1960s, a distinct sense of dread settled over the San Francisco Bay Area. An unknown killer was operating in the shadows, demanding the spotlight by mailing taunting letters to local newspapers, like the San Francisco Chronicle. He forced a massive police mobilization by threatening to shoot out the tires of a school bus and attack children as they stepped outside. He adopted the name Zodiac and attached intricate ciphers to his letters, challenging local authorities to solve them. This visual breakdown of the Z340 cipher reveals why it took an international team of experts 51 years to crack. The system used a homophonic substitution grid, where one letter is represented by several different symbols, and a complex diagonal reading rule. By publishing these codes, the press amplified the killer's narrative, allowing the myth of a genius phantom to overshadow the reality of the murders. The Zodiac claimed he dictated every detail of the environment and his victims. Serial killers are biological beings, governed by adrenaline, gravity, and physics. Understanding these crimes requires setting the letters aside and forensically reconstructing the physical mechanics of the crime scenes. His earliest known strikes took place at secluded turnouts, similar to this advertising image of a Rambler station wagon. In his letters, Zodiac claimed perfect aim, boasting that he adjusted his fire to account for his victims' movements in the dark. This wireframe reconstruction plots a different story. The 9mm bullet paths piercing the metal are erratic and overlapping. Forensic mapping shows a frantic scramble. Shots hit the vehicles wildly, striking Betty Lou as she ran away, several meters from the car. The ballistics reveal the man who was frantic and sloppy, regardless of the calm persona he presented to the press. At Lake Berryessa, he struck in broad daylight, wearing a theatrical executioner's hood, claiming to collect slaves for the afterlife. He abandoned firearms for a blade with a 30-centimeter reach, leaving 24 stab wounds across his two bound victims. Plunging a knife requires intense physical proximity. Psychologists believe this demands an intimacy that individuals like the Zodiac were incapable of forming in their normal lives. Misogyny is evident in the wound patterns. The female victim suffered more brutal and targeted injuries than the male survivor. This visualization compares the soil displacement at the scene. While a 180-pound police officer left a shallow impression, the killer's boot sank much further into the dirt. The math of those footprints reveals a lumbering man weighing well over 200 pounds. Zodiac mocked the police as blue pigs and claimed his intelligence far exceeded theirs. His execution of taxi driver Paul Stine in this upscale San Francisco neighborhood exposes the reality of his luck. After the shot, the killer frantically tore a piece of Stine's bloody shirt to use as proof for a future letter. In his rush, he left bloody right-hand prints on the exterior door panel. As he walked away into the fog, a dispatch error described the suspect as a black man. Responding officers stopped the white killer, asked for information, and then drove right past him. He escaped because of an administrative error and blind luck. The media spectacle peaked when people claiming to be the killer called in to live television broadcasts. Defense attorney Melvin Belli took calls on air from disturbed individuals who had no actual connection to the crimes. The attacks were physically inconsistent, shifting from a roadside shooting to a daylight stabbing and an urban execution. Some experts now theorize the Zodiac could be a hoax, multiple unrelated killers tied together by a fictional letter writer. Police investigated over 2,500 suspects, yet DNA and fingerprint analysis have never found a match. The Zodiac remains an unsolved case, his letters ensuring he persists in movies and podcasts. When stripped of the ciphers, the ballistics and the blood on the glass reveal the cold reality of the evidence. The science reveals a frantic, sloppy, and deeply inadequate man, whose only true success was convincing the world he was a mastermind.